Today, we are going to break down one of the most important things in sim racing: practice. Now, chances are you have done this before. You load up a new track, start hotlapping, and hope that with enough laps, you will magically get faster. But instead, your lap times stay inconsistent and frustration starts to creep in. Here is the problem. You're approaching practice in an unstructured way. Think of it like this. If you had a heavy box filled with 10 items, you wouldn't try to carry the whole thing at once. It's too heavy, right? Instead, you would take one item out at a time and move it. That's exactly how you should approach practice. By breaking practice into smaller, focused steps, you will save time, build consistency, and genuinely get faster. I will take you through my complete practice system from learning a new track to being race ready. And if you want to follow along, you will find a link to the downloadable checklist for this system in the comment section down below. The very first step is track familiarization. You need to know the track like the back of your hand. This is not the stage to go full speed. And I mean it seriously. Don't lock in bad habits now. At this point, you want to feed your brain with the right information, not the wrong ones. If your sim lets you set the same conditions you will race in, like weather, time of the day, track state, use them. Create an offline session so you're alone on the circuit. Other players are just distractions, and you don't want that at that stage. Load the car with full fuel and a safe setup. Before you even leave the pits, remind yourself: no pushing, no chasing lap times, just steady laps at about 60 to 70% pace. As you explore the track, start labeling the corners in your head. You don't need the official names. Call them whatever makes sense to you. Tight left, long sweeper, chicane, be creative. While you are at it, pay attention to fixed reference points like breakboards, curb markings or marshal posts. Never use shadows, they move and they will let you down. After a few laps, try the so-called memory lap. Picture the next corner before you reach it and call it out loud. If you can drive the circuit without surprises, you have nailed this step. All we are doing here is training your brain to focus on one thing: knowing exactly where you are on the track. So, you know the track and you can call the next corner in your head? That's perfect. Now it's time to give your brain a new task: mastering braking points. Braking is where most drivers lose the biggest chunk of lap time, so this step is critical. You will approach it in 2 stages. Step 1 is simple. Run full laps at about 70 to 80% pace and focus on finding safe, repeatable braking markers. Do around 10 laps so the tires are warm and the car feels stable. Step 2 depends on the sim you're using. If you are on iRacing or any other sim with active reset points, set the reset just before the braking zone. Gradually move your braking point 5 or 10 meters later each attempt. Yes, you will overshoot sometimes, but that's exactly how you will find the limit. Once you can brake 10 times in a row at the same spot and keep the car under control, move on to the next corner. If your sim doesn't have reset points, unfortunately, you will need to run full laps. The process is slower, but the principle is the same. Pick a marker and gradually shift it later until you find the sweet spot. The real key here is trail braking. Don't stomp on the brakes and release suddenly. That upsets the car and balance. Instead, apply the brakes firmly, then ease off smoothly as you approach the apex. This keeps the front tires loaded, gives you more grip and helps the car to rotate. If you can brake at the same marker, stay in control and carry the car through the corners smoothly, You have built a reference you can trust lap after lap. But here is the next step. Not all corners are just standalones. On many tracks, you will see groups of corners that flow directly into one another. Let's call these sequences. And here is the truth. Lap time isn't really gained in single corners. It's built in sequences, because the way you enter the first one directly affects the exit of the last one. Here is how to practice. Set a reset point before the sequence. Drive through it at a controlled pace. Fast enough to keep rhythm, but safe enough to stay on track. This time, your focus is on flow. Train yourself to look further ahead, not just at the corner you're in, but all the way through the sequence and out to the exit. The sooner you make this a habit, the faster you will progress. Trust me. And here is a key lesson. Sometimes it's faster to sacrifice the first corner if it helps you carry more speed out of the last one, especially if it leads onto a long straight. That's where the lap times come. Think of it like a puzzle. If you're lifting off the throttle or fighting the wheel on the exit, it means your entry wrong. Reset, adjust and try again. Keep repeating until you can link the corners smoothly and come out balanced and fast on the exit. Now that you have built a track map in your head and solved the puzzle of the braking points, it's time to optimize even further with another drill, Racingline Consistency. Pick a section of the track and aim for the same turn in every lap. This time, focus on precision. Hit the apex exactly, not just close. Then, as you exit, let the car naturally run wide all the way to the edge of the track. That's what the full width of the circuit is here for. Use it. The goal here isn't speed, it's repeatability. If you can drive the same line 5 laps in a row within the width of a single tire, you have built a strong foundation. Once that line feels automatic, that's when you start adding speed and slowly ramping up. Get that right 5 times in a row and you're ready for the next step. A full lap can feel overwhelming, especially on a new track. That's why it helps to break the circuit into smaller chunks. Divide the track into 3 or 4 sectors. Focus on one sector at a time until you can drive it cleanly and consistently. Once you have got it, move to the next, and to the next, and so on. When each part feels solid, start linking them together. First 2, then 3, until you are running at the full lap. This approach makes learning less stressful and shows you exactly which sector costs you the most time. Now this one is straightforward. Drive 5 laps without resetting. If you spin, rejoin and keep going. The point here is to complete the laps, not to chase perfection. But remember, do not go full throttle. Don't stress your brain. After the first 5 laps, add another 5 laps, but this time focus on how the grip changes as the tires warm up. As temperature builds, the car will start to give you more grip, and learning how to adapt to that change is part of the drill. Now, this is my favorite part of the system, because this is where you test all the skills that you just built up to. Load the car with full fuel, then go out and drive as many laps as the tank will give you. As you run, pay close attention to the tires again. Do they start to slide a little bit more lap after lap? Do they suddenly drop off after a certain point? Understanding how grip changes over distance is key to race pace. You will also notice how different the car feels on full fuel compared to when it's light near the end of a stint. That's why this drill is so valuable. Now, here is a target. Check your lap times across the stint. Can you keep lap 3 and lap 10 within about a second of each other? If yes, you're on the right track. Up to the next one. This is where observation kicks in. Review and adjust. After your stint, watch the replay carefully. Did you consistently miss an apex? Did you run too wide on an exit? If you notice something, write it down. Don't rely on memory. Put it on paper so you know exactly what to work on. From there, pick just one issue to fix. Focus on that single corner or habit until it improves. If you want to dig deeper, start analyzing your telemetry. Compare throttle traces, braking pressure, and minimum corner speed. It might feel like extra detail, but it shows you exactly where and how you are losing time. The key here is be honest to yourself. Small deliberate adjustments after each stint will compound into big improvements over time. That's how you turn practice into progress. Finally, it's time to bring it all together under pressure. Race simulation. Look for a short race, maybe 10 to 15 laps. Go through the full start procedure, survive the chaos of lap 1 and then settle into your rhythm. I want you to keep in mind traffic will affect your braking points and force you to adapt. That's normal. The key here is to stay predictable and stick to the habits you have built. If someone pressures you, don't panic and don't overdrive. Trust your consistency. That's what practice was for, right? When the session is over, review the replay just like before. Note your mistakes and feed them back into your next practice session. If you can complete the race simulation without spins or major errors, you have proven your practice translates into race performance. So, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I'm still fairly new to creating content and it really means a lot that you are here. I put a lot of time and effort to make this kind of guides or videos. So if you found value in this video, please consider subscribing or even like the video. It really means a lot. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching and I'll see you on the next one.